Hi everybody, and welcome to this episode of Dharma Essentials. Today we're going to talk about automation. We've learned about different effects, how you could have wet and dry, you could have reverb, delay, but you can also make those things change over time. You set a certain value at one point, and then later you have a new value. That's all automation is. The next thing to look at is how do you pull up automation? In Ableton, you simply press the letter A to enter automation mode. Next, you click on any knob that you want to automate. The parameter you've selected should now appear as a red dotted line. You click anywhere on that line to make a new point. If you make 2 points, now you're automating. We'll look at some examples now. The first thing that you notice is that the pluck sounds very subdued. We've killed all of the high frequencies, and this is done with EQ8. We're creating a filter that starts very low and over time opens up by setting a point here that's low and another point here that's higher. By the end of this sequence, we're gonna have all those high frequencies back. It'll sound as if over time, almost like the whole sound is approaching you and getting closer. The other thing that we're doing is using LFO tool. This is a sidechain effect that turns on right when the drums come in. So it gives the feel of a realistic sidechain that's reacting to the drums being introduced. You can see there, LFO tool goes from off to on. The last thing that we have on this pluck to make it fade away before the next section is taking a reverb, first at 0% and going all the way up to 60% by the end to make it seem as if it's fading away and getting farther away. So that is the automation that we've done on the pluck. The next element that we're going to introduce are these chords. Now we have the same effect of a filter starting very closed off and then opening up. But instead of doing that with Ableton's plugin for EQ, we're going to do that within the synth. You can start at a value. Here we have the cutoff starting really low and opening off that cutoff towards the end. It's the exact same effect that we achieved with the pluck, except now we're doing it within the synth, but it's the same concept. So the next thing that we're going to look at is this riser. This riser has a unique form of automation, which is clip automation. So all of the pitch bend happening within this clip, instead of being viewed as automation in Ableton sequence, it's within the clip. The nice thing about this is you can drag this clip around and that automation will stay with it wherever you put the clip. So here you can see the pitch bend starts at 0 and then reaches a maximum value at the end. That sounds like this. The same thing can be achieved but in audio. And here I've taken the same riser, printed it to audio, and removed the pitch bend. It sounds like this, one note. And to make a riser out of it, we can open up the clip in Ableton's clip view. We can go to the transposition modulation. We could start at 0 semitones, and we could take it up to 24 semitones, which is basically the same thing that we're doing within the synth. They'll accomplish more or less the same thing, but the quality will be different because you're forcing Ableton to warp the sound up 24 semitones, which is a lot to ask of Ableton. So you get a slightly more digitalized sound. Introduces some artifacts you could hear there, as opposed to when we did that same pitch bend automation within the synth. So you can hear that it is starting to become very digitalized and almost distorted. Both have their functions, but it's important to note that not all pitch bend is the same, and if you do it on audio, you'll be forcing Ableton to warp it, and if you do it in the synth, it will naturally be able to pitch bend it and keep the same quality throughout the entire pitch bend. All right, everybody, this has been our overview of automation. Hopefully by using automation, you can make your mix sound less stagnant. You can make things evolve over time and altogether have a more exciting project. So I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.